everyone, if you watched my last video, I did the ranking of the Star Wars movies, so please check that out. And yeah, I thought I'd do another ranking. I thought I'd rank something that's got actually nothing to do with Star Wars. Yes, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah, I just saw this weekend Avengers Age of Ultron. Yeah, my review's down. Me and my brother reviewed it, and yeah, check that review out. Spoilers ahead, I loved the movie. It was a great movie, and yeah, I thought I'd actually do a ranking of all the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. Yes, no Spider-Man, no X-Men, all the Marvel movies. There's about 11 of them now, and honestly, the majority of them I do really like, and actually some people even come up to me like, hey, why don't you rank all the Marvel movies? So yeah, I thought, let's do it. Let's rank the 11 Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. And yeah, Ant-Man's coming out, so yeah, who knows where Ant-Man will rank on this list. But yeah, only time can tell for that one, and I'm excited for that movie. But yeah, let's get to the ranking of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. Alright, starting with my number 11, which is my least favorite Marvel movie. And that is, of course, Iron Man 2. Yes, you saw my top 10 worst superhero movies list. This movie is just crap. Downey Jr. is okay. That's about it. Yeah, I didn't like this movie. I was bored watching this movie. This is the most boringest superhero movie, like, ever. It's so dull, so boring. There's a lot of, like, bullshit commentary, and yeah, it's got a really lame villain. Yeah, Mickey Rourke, I couldn't stand him, and yeah, Sam Rockwell's on this movie, and he's a great actor. He's terrible. Gwyneth Paltrow's terrible too, and she's actually a great Pepper Potts. And yeah, they got Scarlett Johansson first came in this movie as Natasha Romanoff / Black Widow, and even she kind of was really bland. She kind of looked like she didn't want to be there, but lucky she improved upon the movies. And yeah, I love Jon Favreau as a director, and he directed the first one so good. But yeah, this movie just sucked. This is one of the worst superhero movies ever, and the worst Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. Number 10 is The Incredible Hulk. Let's go through this quick. This movie isn't as bad as everyone says it is. It's not particularly great, but it's fine. Mark Ruffalo is an awesome Hulk. Edward Norton is good, though. He's not as good as Mark Ruffalo, but he's a decent Bruce Banner. Liv Tyler is terrible as Betty Ross, but the action scenes, there's not a lot of action scenes, but the action scenes that are in this movie are great. The Hulk looks awesome. CG looks fine. Abomination was awesome when it came at the end. Tim Roth was pretty annoying in this movie, but when Abomination came and him and Hulk were fighting, that was badass. And yeah, this movie is decently entertaining. It's not a great movie, but I enjoy it, and I do like to watch it from time to time. And yeah, I don't mind the Hulk. It's definitely one of the weaker Marvel movies, but I still enjoy it. Number 9 is Thor: The Dark World. Basically, I almost enjoy this movie just as much as The Incredible Hulk. There's a lot of problems with this movie. Yes, this is a movie you can most definitely skip. You're not missing much watching this movie. The villain in this movie is very bland and very forgettable. And Kat Dennings, oh gosh, she's so annoying. But yeah, Natalie Portman's fine. Her chemistry with Chris Hemsworth is fine. Chris Hemsworth back as Thor, he's great. Loki steals this entire movie, and he's awesome. Anthony Hopkins, Rene Russo, they do their jobs fine. And yeah, this movie is just a fun movie. It's fun, entertaining, dumb fun. There's nothing groundbreaking about this movie. This is a movie basically you can skip. Like, if you haven't seen Thor: The Dark World, it's not like you cannot go see Avengers 2. Like, this movie doesn't really tell you much. And basically, it's just a fun story. And yeah, nothing great about it, but I do like it. Thor: The Dark World is a decent movie. I enjoy it. Coming in number 8 is Iron Man 3. Okay, Iron Man 2, yeah, people hate Iron Man 2, but people think Iron Man 3 is, like, way worse than Iron Man 2. That is not the case. Yeah, I know there's a lot of Christmas themes in this movie, but honestly, I think it kind of works in the movie. I think that it adds a lot of comedy to this movie. This movie is actually written and directed by Shane Black, and Shane Black's awesome. This guy did Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and he wrote the first Lethal Weapon, and this movie is a good movie. Like, again, like Thor: The Dark World and The Incredible Hulk. There's nothing groundbreaking about this movie. This is not a movie you actually have to watch. But it is a very fun comic book movie. Downey Jr. returns as Iron Man / Tony Stark, and he's awesome. Pepper Potts is great. She's finally good. She made up for her bad performance in Iron Man 2, and she's decent in this movie. Guy Pearce is a little silly, but he works it. Oh my god, Ben Kingsley is awesome. And yes, some people got so pissed at what they did to the Mandarin. And I'm a comic book fan, and I was actually pissed what they did to the Mandarin. But watching this movie over and over again, I actually find it pretty comical. And yeah, I do enjoy this movie. Yeah, I can admit, when I first saw this movie, I didn't, like, love it. I thought it was, like, it was okay, but I've watched this movie a good, like, 4 or 5 times now, and I've grew to enjoy it. It's, like, a fun, entertaining Marvel movie, and, yeah, it's fine. Like, Iron Man 2 is crap. This movie isn't crap, so, yeah, don't say Iron Man 2 is better than this. Well, you're right to your own opinion, but I just don't think Iron Man 2 is better than this movie. Iron Man 3 is way better. Coming in number 7 is Thor. Okay, when I was making this ranking, I'm like, okay, Thor will definitely be in like my top 5. As it turns out, it actually wasn't. I actually looked over these movies. I'm like, yeah, these movies are actually better than Thor. But Thor is still great. Directed by Kenneth Branagh, one of my favorite directors. I love Kenneth Branagh, king of Shakespeare. This movie is great. This was actually one of the hardest Marvel movies to do, and Kenneth Branagh really did it well, and it's so good, so entertaining. The visuals look great. I love the designs of Asgard. The world of Asgard looks awesome. It got us Loki for the first time. Tom Hiddleston killed it. Chris Hemsworth is a great Thor. This movie actually had a lot of comedy in this movie too, and it was really good. Idris Elba also killed it as Heimdall, and yeah, I really like this movie. The comedy was great, the action was great, and the visuals looked good. This was the hardest Marvel movie to do, and they pulled it off. Good job, Kenneth Branagh. Coming in number 6 is Captain America, the First Avenger. Yes, Captain America, Captain America. Yeah, yes, I love Captain America, the Star-Spangled Man. And yeah, I enjoy this movie a lot. This takes place in World War II era, and this is a great movie. This is the only comic book movie actually takes place during like a war and stuff, and it was really cool. And yeah, this is like another reason why I like Watchmen. It takes place in like an era you don't see much in like comic book movies. And this movie is so freaking good. And yeah, it introduced us to Captain America with his awesome origin story. I love his origin story. Chris Evans is just a really likable character. And he just plays the role of Captain America so good. I love the character Steve Rogers / Captain America. And yeah, the performances all around were good. Tommy Lee Jones was good. Haley Atwell was great. Sebastian Stan was good. He got better in the sequel, but Sebastian Stan was great. And I loved Hugo Weaving as Red Skull. Some people thought Red Skull was a pretty bland and forgettable villain. I liked Hugo Weaving as Red Skull. I thought he was an awesome villain. And yeah, Hail Hydra! And yeah, I enjoyed this movie. The action was great. I loved the era it was in. The production design looked good. The visuals looked good. And it was a great build up to the Avengers. And yeah, I love Captain America, the First Avenger. America. Number 5 is Iron Man. Yes, Tony Stark, Iron Man. This began the cinematic universe, and this movie blew me away when I first saw it. This was one of my favorite comic book movies. A few months later, Dark Knight came out, and that just took that out. But yeah, I loved Iron Man when it first came out, and I've seen this movie like 18 times now, and it's still fucking great. I love this movie. Downey Jr. just killed it as Tony Stark, and yeah, I loved this movie. Jon Favreau directed it so well. I can tell he put a lot of passion in this movie, and he really knew the source material of Iron Man, and it's great. Yes, the scenes with him in the cave are actually the best scenes. It's a really good first act to the movie. The second and third act are still really strong, and yes, the Iron Mauler, played by Jeff Bridges, isn't a particularly strong villain, but the movie is still good. It's got a lot of good wit, a lot of good writing, a lot of good directing, awesome, spectacular action. And yeah, I love Iron Man. Coming in number 4 is Avengers Age of Ultron. Yep, yeah, I just saw it. It's my number 4, and honestly, go watch my review of this movie with my brother Ashton. If you haven't seen this movie, I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, this movie is awesome. Sounds good as the first one, but it's still a great movie. James Spader killed it as Ultron, and yeah, just go watch my review of it. You'll find out how much I love this movie. I talk all about it with my brother. There's a little minor spoilers. I accidentally spoiled one little thing. I apologize for that. But yeah, you go watch my review, you'll find out what I thought about this movie, and I absolutely loved it. It's one of my favorite Marvel movies, and yeah, I don't get, like, some people don't really like this movie. Some people are like, oh, it's not because the first one. Well, yeah, but some people are saying, this movie is so overrated. This movie is not even that good. It is a great movie. It's one of my favorite Marvel movies, and it just killed it. Loved Avengers Age of Ultron. It was awesome. Coming number 3 is Guardians of the Galaxy. This is one of my favorite movies of last year, and yes, this movie was so freaking good. This movie could have easily failed. Come on, it's got a talking tree and a talking raccoon, but honestly, it just worked. Everything about this movie just worked. The visuals were good. The action was good. The practical effects were good. The CG was good. The characters were awesome. The characters were what made this movie so good. The characters were just so likable, and they all had such good chemistry with each other. I love all these characters in this movie. I love Star-Lord. I love Gamora. I love Groot. I love Drax. I love Rocket. Rocket's like my favorite character, and all the performances by all of them are good. Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, freaking Evan Batista, Vin Diesel, Bradley Cooper, all are so freaking good. The CG looked awesome, especially on Rocket and Groot. And yeah, this movie actually made us care about a fucking tree. And yeah, the comedy is just freaking, it's just awesome. It's hilarious. And yeah, right from the scene when Star-Lord puts on the headphones and starts dancing, I'm like, okay, I know what movie I'm getting into. I'm gonna love this one. And this movie was just so good. It had so much heart, and it just had such good comedic timing and such awesome action scenes. And yeah, this movie just blew me away when I saw it. I've seen it about 10 times now, and I love this movie. Honestly, I thought this would be my number 2, but I actually just watched a few of these movies recently, and I'm like, okay, my number 1 and my number 2 are just a little bit better than Guardians, but I still love Guardians. It's amazing! Coming number 2 is Captain America, The Winter Soldier. Yes, the Russo brothers just knocked it out of the park. I actually feel a little bad because I don't think you could possibly make a better Captain America movie than this movie. This is an absolute perfect Captain America movie. This movie itself is not perfect. There is flaws with it. But as a Captain America movie, it's freaking flawless. This movie is amazing. So good. Everyone was on their A game. Again, Chris Evans returns as the role of Captain America / Steve Rogers, and he's amazing. The new Captain America suit, he gets rid of it halfway through. Why? I love the look of the new Captain America suit. It looks so awesome. Scarlett Johansson's awesome. Samuel Jackson and Kobe Smulders all kill it in this movie. Even Frank Grillo was great, and Robert Redford was good. Sebastian Stan as the Winter Soldier. I called him the Darth Maul of this movie because he doesn't say much, but when he is on screen, he does amazing things. And yeah, in the movie's named after him, just like Phantom Menace. But yeah, I loved this movie. This is one of the greatest Marvel movies, and this movie just knocked it out of the park. The action scenes are awesome. It's a very well shot movie and very well choreographed movie, and the Russo brothers killed it, and I can't wait to see what they do with the Avengers sequels, and I can't wait to see what they do with Civil War. I'm looking forward to Civil War. Don't fail me, Russo brothers! And my number 1 favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie is The Avengers. Okay, here we go. A lot of people are going to say, oh, this movie's so overrated. Why do people love it so much? Because of Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon wrote and directed this movie, and he just knew how to make an Avengers movie. Joss Whedon is the king of television and the king of nerd, basically, people are saying. This movie is just such an amazingly written movie. This movie has great characters, great dialogue, and great storytelling, and it's so good. And yeah, Tom Hiddleston returns as Loki, and he kills it. And this is the first movie to put a team together, and just you see all these superheroes together, talking with each other, outsmarting each other, bantering with each other, and it's just so awesome. You'll never get that ever again. That's why Avengers 2 wasn't as good as this one, because this is the first one to do it. And seeing these people together, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Hawkeye, Black Widow, seeing them all together, fighting together, and that show when they're in a circle, they're all just lined up together, it's just like the most epic thing ever. One of the most epic things in movies. And yeah, the fight scene in the third act is just mind-blowingly awesome. And yeah, Tony Stark, of course, does Tony Stark, just kills it with the comedy. Mark Ruffalo's the new Hulk is just awesome, and the chemistry between him and Downey Jr. was really good. And Scarlett Johansson was awesome. She really shined in this movie, and she had a lot to compete with. She's competed with a lot of top-notch actors and a lot of top-notch characters, but Black Widow was so good in this movie, and Hawkeye was a little bland because half the movie is taken over by Loki, but he kills it in Age of Ultron. But yeah, this movie is so good. Joss Whedon wrote and directed the movie phenomenally well, and I adore this movie. It's visually appealing, kick-ass action, and all our favorite heroes together in a team kicking ass. That was my ranking of the Marvel movies, so please comment below what is your ranking of the Marvel movies. Your least favorite to your favorite, comment below, let me know. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.